Las Vegas, famous, fabulous playground of the West. A wide open town that never goes to sleep.
I don't care if the sun don't shine. I do my drinking in the evening time when I'm in Las Vegas.
Get ready for 1 full hour of vintage Vegas. This is Vegas Knights Tales, the radio show. These 3 dealers have spent their time in the gaming pits, and now they're talking. Growing up in 1950s Vegas, breaking into the mob-run casinos in the 1970s, they'll tell what it was really like in the golden era. The art of dice and cards, mobsters and muscles, starlets and harlots. The real story from guys who lived it. Now, let's bring on the hosts. Here's Benny Baccarat, Danny Craps, and Jimmy Bags.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Listening to the Vegas Knights Tales right here. Benny Baccarat here, Jimmy Bags, Danny Craps.
Hi, folks.
Yeah, how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Hey, Benny, did you go get any starfish this past week?
Oh, boy, did I. Man, and I filled up on a lot of it, too.
Oh.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's nothing like that ocean down there.
How about the smell?
Oh, the smell is great.
He didn't want to come back.
I didn't want to come back. It's beautiful down there. Man, I tell you, I mean, how can you beat 65, 70-degree weather? Right there on the ocean,
It's
listening to
105
waves.
here.
Well, I'd be kind of afraid that a couple seagulls might shit on my head.
Well, they could do that. I mean, they're good
That's
at
good
taking
luck.
your
They
ice
say
cream
that's good
cones.
luck.
Yeah.
The last time it happened to me, they were playing the B.J. Thomas song from Butch and Sundance. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but it was pigeon shit.
But it looks like they've already landed on you, Danny.
They're nesting,
You got a
Benny.
big fucking
Benny,
you got a
they're
big
nesting.
target.
They're nesting those
Just
seagulls.
kidding. No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
Yeah, we had a great time down there. Anytime you could be down there by the ocean and everything, eating all that shellfish and fish, it's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sitting at them little, you go and sit those little bars down there on the piers and everything. Oh, my goodness.
That's nice.
You just let the world go by.
How many hours before you see a mermaid sitting next to you?
Well, it took about
That takes a
six-pack,
few
and I've seen
drinks
plenty. Seen plenty of them
Hey,
mermaids.
Danny, you got to take some peyote to see a mermaid.
A peyote? A
Peyote?
mermaid?
You on a trip, You got the trip out when you.
She looked like Jane Mansfield.
I don't care what she looks
With her head. With her head.
Yeah, we had a really nice time down there.
Oh, that's good.
Back here and right back in the heat and the thick of things.
Let
Wow.
me tell you something. One day, I dropped that LSD with this girl, right?
Yeah.
You know what we did all night?
I can't
Sat in
imagine.
the kitchen and looked at the tile floor.
Wow, what a trip,
What a trip
Jimmy
that
Bags.
That's what I was just saying. It was.
Was it?
we were tripping.
Do you know if it was Aberdeen?
No, it was for that. You know that Spanish tile where everything
Travertine?
blends in. It was all. It was all
Travertine?
going around. Travertine.
Did it look like those crop circles that
No,
you
it
see
looked
in
like
fields?
little. I don't know what it looked like, but you got to try it, folks. You're missing life. I think they ought to give everybody in Congress and the Senate and the president. They ought to make them drop LSD.
What makes you think they haven't?
Because it.
That would explain a lot.
They're
I'll
already
tell
on
you
it.
what. I heard a story about Obama, and I don't even know if I should even say it right now.
He's still
You know what I'm saying?
president.
That about knocked me down when I heard it.
You could disappear.
I think I would pass.
I think I would too.
Yeah, let's pass on that.
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about when I flew a jet down the strip on Ludes. Let me tell you about that.
Was that an F-16?
While I was getting head. That one-legged motherfucker we had last week. Huh? And if you're listening,
Yeah, well, I missed
fuck
him.
you. Huh?
I missed
Johnny
him.
Outlaw. Hey, baby. Hey,
Now I know why you only got one leg.
Johnny Law.
Johnny Law.
I don't know him.
I don't either.
Well, you was living the
Let me tell you
bohemian
something, If I worked
lifestyle.
at the Horseshoe for all them years and didn't know him, he's lying.
No, he was there.
I never heard of him.
He was there.
Carlos ever heard of him?
Yeah.
I got to ask him about him.
Yeah, Johnny Outlaw.
I never heard of him.
He was Lubansky, but the people kept singing the song.
Babaluski?
Well, there was some kind of song. Baba Lumsky, yeah,
Lumsky.
which I'm sure drove him nuts.
Yeah. What's that mean?
Well,
was
it's
just
Polish.
'cause he
It's
was
Polish.
Polish.
I think that that we're missing a couple of the kibasas from the pack.
Yeah, he was all right. He was different. Everybody seemed to like him, so hey.
Yeah.
Except Jimmy Bags.
I liked him, but in a different sort of way.
Yeah.
I kept seeing myself do things to him that weren't cool, you know.
Well,
I
the
told
only thing
Danny,
I
I whip
heard-
a one-legged fucker. I'm out. Huh?
The only thing I heard that I didn't care for, and he started slamming dealers.
Yeah,
That's
in
not cool.
general. I
That's
mean,
not
come
cool.
on. He was the only
Well,
dealer that
especially
ever
21
lived.
dealers.
Yeah, we all had to work together.
He
right?
said that crap dealers were basically a superior species.
No, he called us all jackoffs. Other than I think,
Than crap dealers, is what he said. He said crap dealers was.
and his friend that sat over there and took. I went, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's in a 21. He's a
Yeah.
20, a lefty, by the way.
Yeah, he's a lefty.
He's a
Southpaw,
lefty.
huh?
He's a southpaw too. Yeah.
Someday I'll show
No
you.
dead thumb though.
No dead thumb.
No, his thumb's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we going to talk about?
We're going to talk a little bit about how the hotels happen to keep people inside the hotels. What do they do to keep people involved inside the hotels?
And I'm gonna tell you something. They put a lot of time and effort into that. People might not think that,
It's
but
a big
they
research.
do. They do. They do atmosphere, sound, color, lights. You know, the lights over them games. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
you
they
know.
got all that mood lighting, more or
That's right.
less. It's a light,
carpet,
you know.
everything.
no clocks, no water fountains,
No
only
windows.
drinking.
No windows.
No
No,
windows.
no place to sit down.
And like
No,
I was
Unless
telling
it's at
Benny,
a table. Unless it's at a gaming
That's
table.
right. Unless I was telling Benny earlier that even in Newport, Kentucky, they used the same thing. They didn't care if the guy won, but as long as he stayed in the place, you know what I mean. They didn't want him roaming around to another, you know.
Yeah, do whatever they can.
And they
to
brought
keep
it out
in.
here with them too. There's a whole science about that, you know.
That's why when they get a big roller in, they keep a host
On him.
nearby.
That's right.
To keep the guys, hey, let's go over here for dinner. I'll take you here for dinner. Keep him
That's
in the
right.
He's
joint.
basically on call for 24 hours a day, in case he might run out of towels, or he might want a certain kind of music piped into his room. He might want a certain aromatic, a certain smell that he's used to, maybe from his boyhood past.
That's why I liked Mr. Binion. You know what Mr. Binion used to tell him, man, I run a gambling joint. He says probably one of the last ones in the world, you know.
Well, he combined the old with the now.
That's right. He told the guy, can I bet $1 million? Benny told him, let me tell you something, my man. The limit will be your first bet.
That's
if
right.
you bet $1 million the first bet, that's what the limit is. You bet 10,000 the first bet, that's what the limit is. Bet whatever you want. He was the gambler, man.
Jimmy Shagger was down there, and he was losing the craps. He had 125,000 left, so he asked Benny, he said, can I bet it? And he goes, yeah, it's your first bet. So he bet it on the blackjack table, and he won. He won the bet. At that time, that was the largest bet we ever heard made at the 21 table.
How about
in
the guy bet $1
70s.
million on a wheel? He bet black or red. He won it at the Binions.
How about the guys that would call from other states and making a call bet from another state?
No.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
No, but I
Would
I
you?
heard that they did.
yes,
do that,
yes, I heard it from reliable people.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it's never happened.
And they
but
had the guy
I wouldn't
that,
take it.
Even Carlos told me that it happened a couple times. That they said mark 5,000 in the field, and the guy was on the phone, and he listened to the call. Carlos said that they hold the phone up, 6 easy, no field.
Boy, that could get you in trouble, couldn't it?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Oh, that would just
Yeah,
give
the
you
guy
a
says,
wedgie
well, I'm
like
not gonna
that.
pay you.
Oh my
A
God.
wedgie,
Sure.
Well, you blow the whole farm.
Yeah.
and the
that's-
pigs and all the animals too.
Oh.
Yeah, they even had that guy that bet the $1 million in the field down there.
Yeah.
He won it, and left town.
Yeah,
They tried to keep him. He left.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gone.
yeah, but very few slip from the grasp of the casino's watchful
They
eyes.
always come back. Let me tell you.
They do.
Yeah.
They want to, especially if someone's winning money, they want a shot at that money back. So if you keep them around, keep them happy, even when he wins, he might end up blowing it back or losing part of it where the hotel doesn't take a big hit.
Well, in the old days gone by, they used to have girls that worked for the hotel that would keep them in the place.
Yeah, keep him
They'd
there.
come to
That's
them at the
exactly right.
game, and they're whores. Work for the house and
Independent
they were protected.
contractors.
Exactly. They were
Independent
protect-
contractors.
But they were protected by as long as they were inside that building, they were kind of like taken care of. as
Some of
long as
these
they
girls
could do
were
shit.
highly
Oh, man,
educated.
and
Well, a lot of them
nice.
were hired by the spas.
That's right. Nice.
Go up there and
looking
get a
too.
nice massage, and they keep
And
you
then-
up there for a while.
And then, of course, we all know the most famous thing in Vegas is the happy ending.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's iconic.
And what is that?
A happy ending? It involves another person.
Oh,
I mean, you leave when you have a smile on your face.
Yeah, you know the little smiley face. In fact, they give you some so you can put them on different things on your way out the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, they do whatever they can there goes Jimmy. They can do whatever they can to keep them in the hotels, and it worked. I mean, they have that down to an art. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I knew that they used to take a couple of these guys down to Spring Fever. Remember Spring Fever?
Absolutely.
I was living with this bellman from Caesars, and they took them down in a limo to Spring Fever.
Spring Fever was a place where they had little spa rooms
yeah.
set up in there with little showers and a little dinky bed that you could rent the room for I don't know,
$20 an hour.
$20 an hour.
I passed out and I took some ludes once and went in there with a girl. And you know how it used to get real hot in a room?
Of course.
I had to go out in the hallway. I was out there naked laying in the hallway, man.
You pulled
It
a
was real
Dennis
cool.
Rodman, huh?
Yeah.
And you were
And
naked.
she smacked me. She was one of them that liked to beat you up like that.
Well, did you wake up black and blue?
No.
Did you have all your teeth?
was weird,
Well,
man.
you wake up with all your teeth?
That
or-
spa, it just, you know how when you're on ludes and it overwhelms you, that spa, you're in that spa? Man,
Yeah.
it was a horrible feeling.
Why'd they close it down?
Well,
For nasty.
no.
Too much jizz
An
in the
act
room.
of... An
Too much
act-
jizz in the room. man.
Well, actually, that's one of the more colorful rumors, but actually, an act of God. It got
Burned
hit
down?
by lightning.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it's what scared everybody off the first is they said that they were
Nasty.
videotaping people in the
Really?
rooms and selling it all overseas.
I hope they didn't see me.
No wonder someone saw me on a video in Mexico. It was titled "Lust in the Dust."
Sure it wasn't Romper Room?
Mine was a hard. Mine was called a hard day's night.
I can't say it in Spanish, but it was called "One Trick Pony."
It was called the Yo-Yo Mexican Yo-Yo champion.
That was
You know
a-
what? I strive to be the Mexican yo-yo champion,
I
but I
love
couldn't
that.
walk the dog properly.
That's a classic, man.
Did you ever go around the world with a yo-yo?
In 80 days.
That was a heck of a spot down there, though, wasn't it?
Whew! Are you
Fever.
kidding? They had my picture up there.
I think everybody
Turn
in
the
town
light.
was there. You bring your own liquor, and they
That's
let,
right.
let you bring it in.
That was the only game in town anymore. Yeah, it was like the thing.
It was a place to go. I mean,
It's
man.
better than gambling.
You know, because back then you didn't have all them social, there wasn't STDs and there was the normal, there was clap and gonorrhea,
That's-
which
and
were
it's a good way
minor
to come
things
on,
back then.
you know.
And at the worst case scenario, syphilis, but you had to have been really crazy to meet someone with syphilis.
How about
But-
this? You want to go for a spa? It was a good line. It was easy.
Well, back,
wanna go for a-
she expected you to say spin, but spin was
Yeah.
after you got to the spa.
Actually,
I was
most of the
spinning.
girls ask you,
yeah.
hey, how about let's go on down to Spring Fever? Well, okay.
I remember going down there. It was in October, about 2 days before Halloween, and I was in a costume.
You had a pumpkin with you?
I did. I forgot to carve out the eyes, though.
Trick
But
or
there was
treat.
the smiley face and something where her nose was. I went to pumpkin,
Uh,
and the girl was dressed like Gretel, but I guess I was supposed to be Hansel. I don't know. No, it just ended up being Gretel. Hansen, I don't know. He went to Red Rooster, and
Remember that? The queer
yeah,
joke.
there was another place, Red
so
Rooster.
that's where they played Swing Your Partner, Do-Si Do.
Yeah.
Who
Remember
you
the-
end up with, I don't know.
Remember the Red Barn?
Oh, yeah, Red
Huh?
Barn. Yeah, it
Out on-
burned
It was
down
way out in the. It seemed like it was way out there in the.
How about
Quite a
how about behind the green door?
behind the green door.
And in the summertime, it was
Yeah.
behind the screen door.
Green door. I hear that Marilyn Chambers used to hang out there
Really?
quite a
Oh,
bit.
Marilyn. I met her
Yeah.
several times at the Union Plaza. She did her show there.
Yeah. Yeah, she was
It's a
around
hard
town
thing to
quite a
swallow, huh?
What,
Yeah.
Marilyn?
I love Marilyn.
bit. I think
What happened
everybody
to her?
did.
She's dead.
Did she die?
Yeah,
She
she,
didn't make
died.
it.
She got a hold of a bad one, huh?
She died of boredom. I
She
don't know.
had another gal that was like her twin that portrayed her. That's on the square. So, Anyhow, we're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be back here. Listen to the Vegas Knights Tales. Benny Baccarat, Danny Craps, Jimmy Bags.
We miss you, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Now, let's return to the Vegas Knights.
Welcome back to the Vegas Knights Tales. Right here, Benny Baccarat, Danny Craps, Jimmy Bags. We're talking a little bit about some of the fun places that used to be able to hang out, Spring Fever and places like that. I mean, they were iconic.
Yeah,
you know,
we
Red
didn't have
Barn,
much entertainment.
Red Rooster, all of them.
Remember we used to go to MGM, to the theater that used to serve you
Sure.
drinks?
Remember
The
you
old-
could
the old
sit down
MGM,
in them-
the old MGM,
Sit
the one
down
that
in
burned
leather
down.
seats,
That
have
was
a drink,
nice.
watch one of them old
Yeah.
old movies they used to put on. That was
couches.
Remember
and-
High Ally when they had High Ally?
Oh, I went to High Ally.
Ally.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was like horse racing, man. We used to
You
have-
felt like
Yeah.
you were back
that
in
was
Miami
like a night.
Beach.
Yeah,
That was
a
awesome.
night out. We'd do High Ally, go to the movie.
Oh, that was
That
a
was a
blast.
nice joint.
It was awesome. You'd go down. How about you'd go down to the Boulevard Mall in its heyday, and everybody, you'd see entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was hanging out
That's
at the
right.
Boulevard Mall, and and then kind of next door was a movie theater.
Yeah.
A couple of them actually. And there
What was
a-
that, the
Nice.
Panorama or?
No,
no, that
no.
was the
It was
name of that.
almost attached to the where Marshalls is next to the Boulevard Mall. It was right there.
Yeah, what was that round
used to-
dome though? What were they?
Well, that was the Cinedrome, but that was on Paradise.
That was Cinerama.
Cinerama.
Cinerama
Yeah, that
on
was it,
Paradise.
Yeah.
Cinerama.
It was on Paradise Road.
was a big deal
and
for us.
Flamingo. It was
Yeah.
right in that corner. Actually, where Gus Gallows used to be, that shopping center, that was a Cinerama. I saw 2001 and a couple other, The Agony and the Ecstasy, which was also appearing at Spring Fever.
How about the Guild?
No, the Guild downtown. Sure.
They used to stay open till 4 or 5 in
Racy
the morning.
movies, yeah.
They had a balcony too.
Yeah,
How about Nevada Drive-In?
yeah.
Las Vegas Drive-In.
Skyway.
Yeah,
Skyway's still
Skyway.
there. There's
Still
one
there.
still
Stardust
there.
Drive-In right behind the
Stardust.
Stardust Hotel, right there. It was a
right.
drive-in.
How about the Nevada driving out there on the
Yeah, he
Nevada
was
on the
just saying.
highway out there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I used to go to that one all
Yeah,
the
we
time.
went there all the time. Well, yeah, 'cause we were
We used to
out
load the trunk up with guys, man, and we'd all go out there, and Richard would pull to the front row and say, "All right, guys, get out," and they would be in the front row, man, and we all got caught, you know.
All
He
got
thought he
caught,
was
huh?
funny, you know, because
Yeah, they
we used to do
there's some fun
I
times.
snuck
back
in.
then.
They put me in a duffel bag. It looked like what's in there. And they put clothes on top of me. I guess it worked. I don't know.
Isn't
I was
that
in a duffel
sad? They have
bag.
to do that to get into the drive-in.
Well,
But it used to be fun. You know
Saved
what?
$2.
I very seldom watched a movie, but
Well, that's because
It
you
was
went
fun.
car hopping. You'd look. There'd be all these carloads of girls, and you'd say, "Hey, roll your window down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we used to have a blast doing
And
it.
we'd ask him intelligent questions like, "What are you doing here?" And they'd go, "Watching the movie,"
I
and
never
you'd say,
could go that far.
"No, you're not."
I never went to the drive-in. I don't think, unless we were younger and went with all them guys, is not with a girl, you know.
And we used to pull up on those humps. They had the humps
that's
in there.
right. I remember one time I got so excited I drove off with the thing in the window, the
Oh, yeah.
speaker.
Yeah,
I think everybody did.
Well, that was the inspiration for that song. My hump, my hump, my hump.
And
A
remember,
person kept going over them humps. Said, "Oh, this would make a great rap song."
You wasn't going to get away real fast.
No, no.
2 movies and a cartoon, and then during intermission you played on them toys up there. Remember when your parents used to tell you,
Oh,
go,
the swings. The
yeah,
swings.
and the thing that run around there and everything.
I was a real nice kid. I'd go push another kid off, and he'd start crying. Wah! Here comes his dad, and I'd run.
always it, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Instead of the concession, you
That
just
was fun.
everybody bring your own stuff.
Them
Put
were
it in
the
the
good
back
old
of the
days,
truck.
man.
I used to keep 2 big hunks in my pants. You remember the big white candy bar?
Yeah.
I used to
I
keep
love-
2 in there, big hunk.
Yeah,
And I'd ask the
nuts in
girl,
it.
I go, "I got a big hunk here for you." What?
I had the look. It was called, remember the look?
Of
Yeah.
course, the
I said,
look.
"Man, you want to look?
It was a magazine called The Look.
Yeah, that and the Big Daddies.
Oh, the Big Daddies. Oh, the Big Daddies. Oh,
You still
Yeah.
Baby Ruth in the pool?
Yeah,
little Baby Ruth, huh? Baby Root, actually.
Baby Root.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure had a lot of fun back then.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it
for
sure was, man.
Vegas
You
was
think
so
back-
much fun back there.
Yeah.
You go to the Flame. How about the Flame?
Yeah.
Flame was nice.
They bring you that. They bring
Kids
you the
I grew
different
up with were the
cuts of
chefs.
meat up
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Bring it out there, sit around that fire pit and everything.
Did you know? One time, Carlos and I and couple other guys. When the Nevada Club opened across the street from the Union Plaza, Carlos and I went over there, and a couple other guys, and Carlos rolled a 45-minute hand on the quarter game. And, of course, no one believed that he was going to shoot. And the pit manager was betting the don't side on the other side against Carlos. And Carlos was saying, hey, man, don't go against me, man. That guy blew like about $1,000. He was so pissed. So Carlos turned in. He bet 2 1/4 inside, and he made $250. That was terrible for 45 minutes, but
yeah, but that's a lot of money back then.
yeah. I made $50.
Nobody believed you could roll a hand like that.
I bet 6 and 8, $1.50 each, and I kept pressing them, and then I'd put the change like a quarter, 50 cents on the hard way. Then if it hit, I'd parlay it. I caught a couple of them. Ended up with $50, and then we went to the Flame at 6 in the morning and had steak and eggs, baby.
Steak and eggs. Everybody had them steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs. Sitting in that big red booth by the bar. Oh, baby.
I was a suspicious gambler, I think.
You were?
When I shot dice, if the one went off the game, I'd call my bets off the next. I mean, I was just so superstitious it got nuts, you know? And it's no fun at that point. You know?
Well, let me tell you how superstitious these quarter degenerate players were when I was at the Nugget. Every joint downtown had a bird game. Everybody in the 70s. That's just how it was. And get this one guy, he looked like Alfred Hitchcock's brother. You know, Bum Hitchcock. So he had this pen and pencil like Benny Baccarat knows, and you, that these guys would come with slide rules, abacuses, you know, astrology charts. I mean, it was unbelievable. You'd see all this stuff. So the guy would bet $13.75 across and off, and he would say, he said, keep on the lookout for someone in a blue shirt when they walk by him working. I said, damn, man, am I in a drug stupor right now? So I said, you want how dark blue, light blue? No, aqua blue. Aqua blue. I said, it's Saturday, and here I am. I was out all night. I gotta look. He's working if aqua blue. I said, well, you're gonna work, and if it's blue, it's working. Aqua blue.
I remember I was at one of them bird games at the Plaza, and I'm not a strong dice dealer, you know. So and they put me on this game.
Johnny Outlaw would be ashamed.
I'd kill him. I don't care. And the player knew the payoff, so instead of asking the box man, I would just say to the player, how much owe you, man? And the player knew the payoffs. He'd help me. Kid, give me a 2 1/4, and then put half of it back up, press it, boom. He'd show me how to. Instead of asking that guy, he didn't.
Well, explain what a bird game is.
Quarter, 25-cent craps.
25-cent dice.
25-cent craps. That's right, folks. You can't imagine what it was like.
Oh,
but especially
if you're weak.
Well,
you know.
But
if you
were going to be the crab dealer that you thought you were going to be,
had to be a bird.
Bird game is where you were going to learn everything.
For 3 years.
What does 25 cents and then $25?
Same thing. That's right.
It all comes up to the same thing.
That's
with
exactly
the odds.
right.
Chips are chips.
That's right.
You know.
Especially when the old timers used to say on the box, give them 7 chips, kid. Well, you didn't have to think of the amount; just gave them 7 chips. If it's 7 quarters, it's a $1.75.
That's right.
You know, and then you get these guys that would bet $1.25 on the 5 and 9. Then they'd say, press it up all the way, and there'd be no change. You go right to $3.
That's right.
Right to $3.
How many times did you put up $15 across?
More times than I got hair follicles.
I used to have one guy, and I was weak at the Orleans, and they put me over there to fill in a spot for a guy, and I'm older, and I didn't know.
Were you wearing the beads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one guy would follow me around. You know, he must have sensed weakness in me, you know, and he'd always come to my end of the game, and he'd, you know, give me this across, take it down. Give me this across, take it down. All night. So finally I said to him, I said, man, hey, you know, quit following me around. You know, stay over there on the other end.
He thought you were an easy mark, man.
Well, he just wanted to aggravate me, you know?
Well, there's people that do that.
Yeah, there is people.
That's why they're called strokers.
Yeah, a midnight stroker.
And then, of course, midnight toker.
Smoker.
Yeah. And boy, it ain't nothing like getting stroked
tell you
after
something.
8 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's horrible, man. And then Noah would go on a break and come back, and he's still there. You know, it was a $3 minimum. 5 to 1 I worked. And if that game didn't close, you didn't go home at 1. And to get them guys off that game was rough, man.
You had to
somebody
get a
was rolling
spatula.
a hand. You're right.
You needed
some
a
bitch went on to
Teflon.
3 o'clock in the morning. You almost had to insult them to get them out of
A
there.
Teflon spatula.
Yeah, and even that didn't work out.
Oh
for the
no,
time.
they hammered you, man. That
Stick
was
and
probably the
stay's
only
what we
$3
call
game
them.
in town.
It wasn't above during those times that maybe one crap dealer who may have had some sort of stomach problems, and he saw where this was going, would go down to the EDR, ask for beans, any kind of beans. He'd mix beans with pickles and some hard-boiled eggs. And I don't have to tell any of you people who've been there,
How
done
many
that.
times? How many times you pray for 7-Up, baby?
Well, I know one thing. The air got so toxic that players started choking and vomiting almost because this guy was
And they
really
still
good.
kept throwing
And he
the
was
dice.
smiling. And, of course, he would like, I don't smell nothing
Yeah,
bad.
that's right. He liked it.
We was an Irish kid, man, but he just had a way of just destroying the quality of air in minutes. And it would clear the game out. They go, we got to go call, somebody to get the air up on here.
Well, if you remember right, even all the cigar smoke and cigarette smoke was down below eye level. So you were smelling that, plus all the smoke and everything. I tell you what, it was treacherous.
This is
I'd
where
wait,
the...
I'd wait till the guy changed the boxes on the 21 game. You know how security bends over and changes
Yeah.
the boxes, and I'd let one go, you know?
So, obviously, for the visual effect, it had to be him.
Yeah, it's
It
just-
couldn't have been you.
Yeah.
The tricks that dealers play,
Oh, yeah.
huh?
Um,
Or some dealers I know, they just had such terrible people on their end. They'd go and eat raw garlic and, anything. So they,
But
what? Where did you want that bat? We're going to the other end.
yeah.
Or you have to clap out and go to the bathroom.
Yeah. You clap out and have to have some old boxman. He goes, you better come back, kid. And the floorman say, yeah, because I don't know how long he can stand up.
Well, you know.
And the old boxman be shaky, and he'd been telling you about this and that all night. Now he's got to figure it out. And he's going, oh, my God, what's this? What's going on? What? I can't read this bet. Bill, it's $24.06. Oh, yeah. Now it's coming back to
And
me.
you stay gone for 20 minutes. And
Yeah, and
clear your head a little bit.
Bill is MFing you when you come back, giving you the evil eye. Oh, my God. He
And
put the
sometimes
Maloik
kicking
on you.
Kicking you in
Oh.
the legs. Calling you every name in the book.
I got fired from a joint one. I'm on the stick, and the guy kept heavy game, and the guy kept throwing the bet in and messing up the whole. You know how when you set up your prop bets, man, and you know when some idiot throws something in there, and knocks everything everywhere. It's hard for you to get back to get it normal, right? So I threw it back at him, and they fired me.
You should have said
I
that.
threw the bet and the stick at him.
Well, Jimmy, you should have said
Said,
that.
fuck you. You throw one more of these in there, and I threw it back at him, and it hit him, and they said, you're gone. He didn't have one leg.
Did you think he had all his body parts intact? He have all his body parts.
That last show, if you'll notice, there was more stuff going through my
Yeah,
mind
but Jimmy, you've opened up.
than
You've
you
opened
can
up
only
in such
imagine.
a.
If you have ESP, read me, man, read me,
Read me.
because man,
Well, there was the other one.
I was ready to
from the
bum
movie.
fight that motherfucker.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Yeah, you know what that was?
Of course I do.
I forgot. What was it?
Little Shop of Horrors,
That's
baby.
it, baby.
And
It was
one of the
a plant.
original.
It was a plant. It was a fly eater, right?
What?
The-
No, there was.
Was Marilyn
well, it ain't
Chambers
a
in
lot.
that?
The
No,
fly eater.
but Jack Nicholson was in it, and he played one of the patients in the original one, where he liked dental work without Novocaine because he wanted to feel the pain, and the dentist would drill him, but it wasn't the dentist, it was Seymour, because the dentist got knocked out, and he'd drill him, and he'd go, oh yes, Jack Nicholson. Look at the original Shop of Horrors. You'll see
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson sitting in the
was a
dental
monster.
chair as Seymour drills him. Oh.
we're on the break, folks.
Yeah, we're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back to listen to the Vegas Knights Tales right here.
Let's return to the Vegas Knights.
Hey, welcome back to the Vegas Knights Tales right here. Benny Baccarat, Jimmy Baggs, Danny Krebs. We're talking about Little Shop of Horrors. Is that Las Vegas itself?
Well, actually, Little Shop of Horrors did branch out in Las Vegas. Yes, they
Oh,
did.
a little bit.
Yeah, with quite a few horrors.
I
as a
forgot
matter
the
of
whole
fact.
show.
Little Shop of Horrors.
That was a
Don't you
long
remember?
time ago, wasn't
Feed
it?
me, Seymour. Feed
Yeah,
me.
the plant.
Seymour, the
That's
plant.
about. But I don't remember the whole.
Seymour
movie.
was a bespectable kind. He was kind of a just a little mush kind of
Yeah.
guy, But yeah, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a classic, Jimmy Baggs.
Well, like I was saying, we used to, getting back to when this town opened first, I mean, not opened, but when we grew up here, we used to go to that El Portel. Remember the movie theater by the Fremont?
Fremont Theater. And next door
It
was
was called the El
Portel.
Portel or something like that. And we used to go in there, man. And Frankie Avalon would be in there, and Mel Torme. It was just like, you know, and then Wayne Newton would be standing out on the corner on his break, you know. Them
I used
good
to
old
see
days, but-
Pancho and Julie, and they used to hang out there too.
Y Pancho.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
He lived on a rancho.
Yeah.
Them the good old days, man.
Yeah, I mean, you'd see all them all over, you know, and
How about
wouldn't even think nothing about
How
it.
about the Huntress Theater? That's where I saw Old Yeller and cried like a baby. I cried for and my dad picked me up and he said, "Why are you crying?" Like, "Oh, Yeller died."
Yeah.
He said, "What happened?" He got crazy. And my dad was sadistic. He goes, "See, if you go crazy, I'll do what they did to you." And the Old Yeller, huh? I quit crying.
I think everybody cried in that show.
Yeah.
I saw Woodstock there in 1969, I believe, at the end of 69 or 70. Woodstock. I saw that. It was appearing at Huntridge Theater.
Yeah, I think we've seen every cartoon that come out down there that they played there.
That was a high-end part of town at one
I
time.
think it was 25 cents to get in. You know, 10 cents for a pop and probably 15 cents for popcorn.
Well, being Latin, all my relatives, my mom would take a trek going up Boulder Highway. It was the only way to get to Henderson, Water Street, and on Thursdays they used to show Latin movies, and I had to go with them. And I mean, you know, I wasn't really into it, but I'd sit there and watch. You know, they'd be showing these Mexican cowboy movies and all that, and that was every Thursday night. And it seemed like it took forever to get to Henderson. Forever.
Where'd they watch? What do you mean? Oh, did you see the movie?
At the movie theater
But I mean-
on Water Street. The regular theater on Thursday nights they showed Mexican movies.
Oh.
So all
But
the
the
Mexicans that were
ride
in-
to there was
all the
long.
Mexicans that were in town back in 59 and 60.
Were
That's
you
where
in
they, well, I had to go by proxy. And they used to make burritos and stuff. I mean, in place of popcorn
Yeah.
and that, they took burritos, and then they took churros.
I remember in Cincinnati, man, we used to walk into this it was a lot of theaters downtown, right? So they were playing, I think it was the 10 Commandments. And I know we're like 8, 9 years old or something. Well, I'm Syrian kid. We walk in and we smell Syrian food in the whole theater. Well, one of my friends' aunt, she used to bring food in and feed all the kids, you know, and it would be kibbe. We call it kibbe nai, and it's made out of roasted lamb and baked, you know, and her with the bread and the food. You could smell it throughout the whole theater, man.
That's amazing.
Huh?
huh?
That's beautiful. It was cool, you know.
Well, we didn't have it
And
that
like-
good
but
because
I can
about
understand.
they showed 2 movies. By the second movie, all them people had been eating burritos and that.
Yeah, it was over.
Let me tell you,
You were at the lead.
the movie,
Oh,
the
blowout.
second movie was always a knockout.
Yeah, it's called Blowout, man.
It was. It wasn't Spin Out with Elvis. I can tell you that. It was Blowout.
Let's
They
go.
used to stock up on what then looked like Charmin, but it was really, I think it was tamale husks is what they put in there for us, something special,
Yeah,
so you could
special.
feel like at home.
Yeah. My old man was an ex-Marine, and that's probably why I have a tendency to lose.
Want to
something.
charge down up the
Yeah.
Guadalcanal?
He used to take me to all them movies, you know, Iwo Jima, to Hell and Back. You know, I was 18. I wanted to shoot anything with eyes, man, you know. Yeah, especially them kind. But I ain't saying nothing.
Jimmy, you know you love everybody.
I do. I love everybody.
That's
I do.
right. That's
I
right.
really
we love
do.
everybody, and we tried to
Especially
love
if they
everybody
don't
back
fuck
in the
with me.
day.
Huh? I'm
We
all
tried
right.
to love
Most people don't fuck
everybody
with
back
me,
in
you
the
know?
day.
Yeah.
We did. I tried to put
I
my
tried
stamp
to.
like Genghis Khan. They said that everyone's got his DNA.
Let me
About
tell you
8% of the world's population has
I
Genghis.
turned down more than most people get, you know, because I was perfection. It had to be perfection, and that don't happen.
You were
know?
you were like a Salvador
That
Dali,
doesn't
a
happen.
surrealist kind of
That's
person.
right. I mean, if that bitch wasn't
Life
perfect,
was your canvas, Jimmy Baggs.
that's it.
And you used to paint
Oh, I
quite
like
a
to
picture.
see that one, like Dorian Gray at the end, you know.
Dorian looked great, man, but
At
the
the
picture,
end,
but the picture,
yeah, that's what I'm
it
saying.
got ugly, man.
Yeah, his soul was
because of
not-
his deeds.
that was
His
nasty.
deeds.
That
He
was
did every
nasty.
kind of deprivation, degradation.
Yeah.
golden showers.
He did everything mean that he could possibly do to a human being
He did.
of any kind.
He did. I tried to be
Yeah.
like Dorian Gray sometimes.
I didn't purposely try to be, but it just happened.
Subconsciously,
that way.
I was that way. How about you, Benny? Benny was always like John Wayne, very nice, always nice. You
You know what always confused me? Is they say you are what you eat. Take it from there. Think about that one for a while. Huh?
Now, what'd we have for lunch?
I'm a chicken, man. I'm a chicken, man.
That's right. We usually meet at. Somebody tell them where we meet at. We got to say at least where we meet at.
The chicken joint.
Nevada Cafe.
Nevada Cafe.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know the
Chicken and
name of it.
ribs.
They got the best chicken, and the
It is.
vegetables are
I
off
get,
the hook.
I get the breast and wing, and it's good. And I want to shout out to one guy, and I promised him I would. And I know HOAs get a bad reputation.
They
and
sure
name.
do.
You know, they are. But we have one, and I live in Villas on the Green, and we have our president who was just elected. He turned the whole place around. It's beautiful. And I got a son out, Steve. Good job, brother.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah,
He's turned it into
really
a real
is,
paradise.
because you live there, you know.
It's like a Garden of Eden there.
That's right. But you've seen the change in 2 months. You've seen the change. It was just simple little things,
Right.
colorful flowers, landscaping.
I walked around in
So-
there, and next thing I know, one of the gardeners threw me a weed eater. I guess he
Yeah,
thought
they're
that,
all mowing and blowing, man. in
he
there.
threw me a weed eater. He said, "Hey,
That's okay, though, you know.
He said, "Have at it."
That's
he said,
right.
"You the new guy?"
Get to work, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in there. The girl wouldn't let me in.
Yeah,
She wouldn't?
tough.
No, wouldn't let me in.
What
I
did
said,
you use?
I'm here to see Jimmy Bag. Who?
They wouldn't let
Jimmy
you.
Bag. No, turn around, get out of here.
Oh yeah,
No.
Roberta's all right.
Yeah,
She takes her job seriously.
I love
man.
Roberta. She
Yeah.
says, "Move up, Mr. Flores, so the camera can get a nice shot of you." I go, "Roberta, these are all my teeth too."
That's like moving into Fort Knox, man.
Yeah. No,
Getting in there.
they're strict getting in there. That's for sure.
They're even worse getting out.
Yeah. Yeah. They see us coming. They raise them little.
Well, they
nails
suspected
up.
me because I was wearing a hat with little dingle balls all the way around it.
Oh
and
my God.
They just didn't quite know what to make of that.
That's a very pretty place in there. Very beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
If you're a condo liver, that's the way to do it. There's nothing to it. You don't do anything. You drive in and drive out, really, you know. They take care of everything, and it's nice. Steve takes all the heat, and he handles it well.
I love trailer living. Trailer living, you meet the nicest
lying.
people in these parks.
He lying.
You meet some of the nicest
Well,
people.
like you
in these
mentioned in
parks.
one of our other shows, we've met nicer people in that alley between the Mint and the Horseshoe than we have in most streets or most venues. You know what I'm saying?
Some of my
They're for real, them people.
most in-depth conversations were in the alleys
That's right.
of downtown Las Vegas.
That's right, man. We used to talk about everything in
You
there.
know, back then you could walk down them, not be in no trouble.
That's right.
No,
I
you-
mean you'd see some funny things go on in there, but
Oh yeah.
you know
Yeah.
you were going to be more or less safe because most of the time all your security guards were out
You
there
never even
beating
thought
somebody
about
up or
it.
throwing
Yeah,
somebody
that's
out.
right.
Oh, there was violence, drugs, rock and roll, gambling. You had it all. You had it all.
We used to hang out. There was one guy that was a basketball player at UNLV, and he was retired. He was a dealer at the Horseshoe. He was like 7 foot tall. And every break, we'd all go out to the van and get loaded, man. You know, 6 of us, man. Jump out of that van.
Everybody was. Yeah, you go down in the alley, you'd see dealers
Yeah,
meeting
behind
other
the
dealers,
Pioneer Club,
and
remember that?
they'd all be smoking. Everyone
One time
was.
when I got promoted to the floor, I walked into that Pioneer Club one time, and the bar was lined with dealers, and they all freaked out, man, because they thought maybe I would rat them off, you know. I said, "Hey, man,
Yeah, do what you got to
We
do.
weren't no rats
I
back
don't
then.
see anything." You know
I
what
was
mean?
never a rat.
I stood there on this end and got my drink and left.
Even when the boss asked me, he goes, "Did you see that other dealer do that?"
I said, "No."
No.
Nope.
You sure?
Not
him off
now.
the game. I know you saw it. No,
They
sir,
got
I didn't.
more rats
I
now
didn't,
than-
sir. I was taught to watch my end and don't be hawking the dice or looking at the other end. Bullshit. I go, I wouldn't lie to you, sir.
Yeah, they all tried to.
I give 'em the
tried
altar
to
boy
get you to
eyes.
be a rat.
Yeah.
You know, every now and then you'd find a rat that was in there, but he was seeked out pretty fast, and
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't a rat
Yeah.
after too much longer.
No. I mean,
There's
I
a lot of them out there now. I'll tell you that.
just like in the movie Departed when he goes, I smell a rat.
Yeah, that's right, man. They're around.
And they're looking for the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jimmy. not Jimmy Cheese.
Well, I don't think there's so much rats now as there are climbers.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing.
You know,
And especially against like if you get a group of people, any one group, you know, I mean, if you're the same, they telling each other and their friends just to the boss, because my wife is a boss, and they go to her with, they rat on their own friends to climb and make themselves look good.
Well, they all want that
Shut
position.
up, you know.
You know, you got places paying pit managers $350 a day.
Well, you know, when I was the boss,
That's good money.
When I was the boss, when someone come to me with that shit, his ass was grass in my book from that point on. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't want to know. Shut up. If I don't see it, I don't want to know it. If it's, let him go. You know.
Yeah, leave them alone.
That's right.
Well, that's how you.
And if you are watching them, you ain't watching your shit. So
That's how you nipped all the garbage.
That's right.
That's it. You stop it right then and there.
That's
They
right.
come in ratting at you. Hey, get out of here. I don't want to hear that.
That's right.
Hey, you come back in here again, I'm going to write you up.
That's right.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of guys didn't
Yeah.
cotton to that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, boy. I tell you.
You just learn to deal with it.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Baggs, how did you keep people in the hotel?
Treating them nice, man.
Yeah.
When I was a backup shift at the Plaza. That was my highest position. And I run graveyard. The shift boss was never there, so it was my game, you know. And I wrote out I had the power of the pen. We were allowed to take that, meaning tips from the customers, you know, if you were treating them nice. You could write power of the pen for dinner, buy drinks. I mean, I run the whole shift. It was beautiful. It was such a good job. It's the only job in my life that I really liked. The pay wasn't really that good, but throwing in the take they were allowed to do, it wasn't bad.
No.
It was a 6-day graveyard. That was the rough thing. But I liked it so much, my wife even wanted me to quit it. She goes, "You like that job too much." You know? I mean, when you're in power, in a place of power, a chick's magnet to you, man. I mean, you know what I mean? They just like it was...
Well, everybody magnets to
yeah,
you then.
exactly.
Because,
I mean, I
you're
sat in the
happy.
office and looked at the cameras, and I didn't even... It was like I just delegated my stuff, you know?
Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break right here for our sponsors. We'll be back here shortly. Listen to the Vegas Knights Tells right here.
Now let's return to the Vegas Knights.
Hey, welcome back. Listen to the Vegas Knights Tells right here. Benny Baccarat, Danny Krebs, Jimmy Baggs. We had a question come up for us. Would you like to elaborate on that question?
Yeah, Lauren, our producer or whatever he is, come up with an idea of talking old Las Vegas movies, gambling movies, and we just come up with one, The Cooler. Remember that one? With Macy, what was his name? William Macy?
William Macy.
That was a real good one. And Baldwin made a statement in there that was so true to Light. And I'm not going to mention any names, but he mentioned the guy's name. And he said this guy turned a call girl. Speaking of Las Vegas as a city as a whole, that this one guy turned this city from being a call girl into being a crack whore. You know what I mean? Think about that one for a while. And it's the truth, you know? It's
Yeah,
called,
that was,
yeah.
that was
It's
a
called
good movie.
Corporation was the one, but he named a guy, and I'm not going to say it because somebody I know works for him.
With the cooler. Now, explain
that
what the cooler is when you're gambling.
Well, he
What
was
is a cooler?
He's the unlucky guy, the guy that brings jingle. If you're rolling a hand, he walks up to the game, it's 7's out.
He's a
He walked
jinxer.
behind you. He was the
jinxer.
jinx. Yeah.
He's a
Then he
jinx.
fell in love and lost his mojo. You know. Then it didn't work. You know.
Yeah, he's all the pennies around under the floor, the salt
it.
being thrown down, the
That's
crosses put. That's what he's put in there for.
That's exactly right.
They might set him downstairs for a few hours. They get something going, they'll call him up, get in there and take care of
Yeah,
that game.
That's right.
And within 5 minutes, the game's dead. And they take him back off the game, go sit downstairs or whatever until they needed him.
I remember my first time, Brad. When I first started dealing, I worked at downtown at the El Cortez, and I was so lucky. You know how when you're just naive, you're just unconsciously make hand after hand. You just win. So I'm 20, 30 minutes early for work. I'm sitting in a coffee shop, and Mike comes in there and goes, "Jimmy, come here. I want you to go on this game, man." I went, "Mike, I don't stay. Just go in there, man." You know. Well, the guy beat me for like 20 G's, man. He cleaned me up, man. And in them days, that was a lot of money in them joints. And I said, I told you, man, ain't nothing a cinch. Again, when they call it gambling, that's exactly what it is. I mean, a guy can get a roll, you know, or a hand. The guy would win, you know.
And you got to, and then you got to not be afraid to press your bet as far as you can when you're playing. That's what some people do. They keep going forward.
It's the limit, Danny. If you're playing in a $50 limit joint, you're done. I mean, you ain't never going to get your money back. You get stuck, you ain't never coming out. I mean, that's how they get you. That's why they control them limits. A guy with an unlimited supply of money can beat your head, right?
He can.
He gets
sure
the license.
He can come right after you and keep firing until the hand does
that scares
show.
them. That's the only thing scares them. They love these dumb gamblers. They like.
Well, sure they do.
Yeah.
They
easy
don't.
money.
They don't like strategy players at all.
Exactly.
Because they can stand there and they'll watch the game, and then all of a sudden they'll start firing at you, and they're liable to catch the hand, and they don't like them people. You know, that's just the way it is.
How about some of the people that you've seen over the years, and they just never seem to lose? They might get stuck, and all of a sudden they come clawing out.
Well, here's what's my saying. If they're winning, they're doing something. That's why they called me Old School Jimmy. They said, "You think everybody that wins is doing something?" And I said, "Well, aren't they? You're not supposed to win in a casino, right?"
No, you're not supposed to. That's like I said. That's why they take all the clocks and everything. They want to keep you in there.
It's designed for the short timer.
That's why they call it gaming instead of gambling now.
They
call it gaming.
You're supposed to hit it and quit it.
That's
hit it and quit it.
That's the only way to win it, is to hit it and quit it. That's true in anything in life.
Get in, get out.
That's why the franchise of In-N-Out Burger is such a hit.
Yeah.
Animal style, too. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen so much meat between two pieces of lettuce?
Yeah.
Protein style?
Many times.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, I thought I was
That's
being
called
reborn.
tomatoes.
Ah, tomatoes. I thought it was the secret sauce they put on that.
Yeah, there's no more meat in there.
You mean it's a filler like Taco Bell?
It's just it's like peanut butter. You spread it on. That's it.
Oh, my Skippies. I always went for
That'd
Peter
be next.
Pan.
That'd be your hamburger. You spread it on.
Yeah.
Chibaga. Remember that, John Belushi? That Chibaga.
Yeah.
I remember him. Yeah, he must have been doing that bag of heroin when he said it.
Yeah. The fucker was doing a speedball before he got in there, man. Hey, anybody can be funny after a speedball. I mean, have you ever done one?
No. I was already out there.
That's Ecstasy in the Rain. Remember that?
Ecstasy in the Rain. Yeah, I think it was Gene Kelly and
I didn't know
Frank
whether to shit,
Sinatra.
puke, laugh, or nod. I didn't know what to do.
I've heard people do all three.
Yeah, I was a split personality. My wife had a girlfriend, man. This bitch, she would invite her to dinner and said 3 places.
Invited her to dinner and sent her to 3 places?
No, we'd set 3 places on the table because she was 3 different people in 20 minutes, man.
She have a cousin named Sybil?
That was her.
Sure they wasn't Brigadoon?
You couldn't keep it. You'd be talking to her, and all of a sudden she'd go into her other mode, you know what I mean?
I dated a girl like that. I mean, she was pretty fun for a while because she would go from Kathy to
Just
Susie.
when you got started, she'd flip on you.
Oh, she would. This one would. I mean, she used to have a real hysterical laugh, and then all of a sudden she'd cry. She goes, "What happened?" She goes,
that afterwards?
She goes, laughing like that makes me so sad. Whoa.
I mean, say, honey, I just got out of the pool.
I mean, and she would. She was one of those that came off the wall with something like, you know. Do you ever, you might be talking about something like, did you hear what happened in the news? And she'd say, do you ever feel like going to Jupiter or Pluto? I go, no, but Uranus is starting.
I feel like going to that brown eye.
Well, that's a very good song. Make your brown eye blue. Oh, my God, what a hit.
Oh, my God. That's Kim Kardashian.
I blew. This has nothing to do with gambling. But when I went to this proctologist recommended by a friend, and he said the guy had a real funny personality. So naturally, he said, pull down your pants, and do you mind if she watched? And I go, no, if that's her thing, it's all right, and you're paying her for it. And that started the ball rolling. But of course, when he was checking my prostate, I started to sing the song, "Getting to Know
His wife
You."
was in there?
No, his head nurse. The nurse.
Oh, I took some Viagra once. When I had a heart on that lasted more than 4 hours, and I went over there and asked for the head nurse. She come out with no teeth, the son of a bitch. I said, she must specialize. We're going to say goodbye, I think.
On that note,
On that note, think about that one all week. Hey,
Yeah, we'll get into some good stuff next week.
and
too.
listen, I
hope
got
you
to
had fun.
apologize to the one-legged cat, man.
Yeah, I
yeah,
hope
but
you
what
guys,
about Carl Carsoni, the one-arm
We got to
acrobat?
get them together.
I think we should.
Do a-
One leg, one arm.
One leg
what
and
a
one arm
conversation they
trio.
could have.
No, that's a duo.
That's a duo, a trio. You'd need another one.
One more.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show today as we did. We had
We
a lot
had
of
fun.
laughs today, a lot of fun.
Hey, Benny, I'm glad you came back, Benny.
Yeah,
We were
I
sweating.
mean, that
I don't
Bohemia.
know where this other guy come from.
I'm
He was
still on
good,
the
but
ocean.
well, nobody knows him. I think he was waiting out in the parking lot, following us in.
you guys picked him up at 7-Eleven, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was trying to. He was
he was
trying to.
wheeling around.
He was trying to pour himself a big gulp, but he couldn't quite get there.
Well, thanks for listening to the Vegas Knights Tales right here. Benny Baccarat, we got Danny Krebs, Jimmy Baggs. We're going to be out. Thank you.
Vegas Knights Tales, baby. That's us.